Hello. Don't forget to like and subscribe before starting the video. Who is Donald Trump? Donald Trump is a well-known figure in the United States and around the world. He was the 45th President of the United States, serving from 2017 to 2021. Prior to his presidency, he was a businessman, real estate developer, and television personality. After graduating from the military academy in 1964, Trump enrolled at Fordham University for 2 years before transferring to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned a degree in economics in 1968. Trump went on to develop a number of other high-profile projects in New York City, including Trump Plaza, Trump Park, and Trump World Tower. He also expanded his business interests into other areas, including hotels, casinos, and golf courses. Overall, Trump's early career as a real estate developer and businessman was marked by his willingness to take risks and his ability to generate publicity for his projects. He was known for his brash, outspoken personality and his love of the spotlight. Despite facing financial difficulties at times, he was able to build a global brand and become one of the most recognizable and controversial figures in American business. One of the most significant factors in Donald Trump's rise to fame and public recognition was his role on the reality TV show The Apprentice. The show, which first aired in 2004, featured Trump as the host and boss of a group of contestants competing for a job at one of his companies. Trump's catchphrase on the show, "You're fired," quickly became a cultural phenomenon and helped to solidify his image as a tough, no-nonsense businessman. Through The Apprentice, Trump was able to showcase his branding and marketing strategies to a wider audience. He used the show as a platform to promote his various business ventures and to reinforce his image as a successful entrepreneur. He also leveraged his social media presence to interact with fans and promote his brand. However, Trump's portrayal of business tactics on The Apprentice was not without criticism. Some argued that the show's emphasis on cutthroat competition and ruthless decision-making perpetuated negative stereotypes about business and contributed to a culture of greed and selfishness. Others criticized Trump's often abrasive and confrontational management style on the show, claiming that it was not an accurate reflection of successful leadership in the real world. Despite these criticisms, The Apprentice and Trump's celebrity persona continued to be major factors in his rise to political prominence. Trump's use of branding and marketing tactics, including his embrace of social media, proved to be highly effective in reaching and mobilizing his supporters during his presidential campaign. However, his approach also drew significant criticism and controversy, with many questioning his fitness for office and his commitment to democratic values. Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign was one of the most unconventional in American history. He announced his candidacy in June 2015, positioning himself as an outsider candidate who promised to make America great again. Some text goes here. His campaign focused heavily on issues such as immigration, trade, and national security, and he frequently used inflammatory rhetoric to rally his supporters. One of the most controversial moments from Trump's campaign came early on, when he referred to Mexican immigrants as rapists and criminals during his campaign launch speech. He also faced significant backlash for his proposal to build a wall along the US-Mexico border and for his calls to ban Muslims from entering the United States. Throughout the campaign, Trump engaged in a number of high-profile feuds with other public figures, including the Khan family, who spoke out against him at the Democratic National Convention, and Fox News anchor Megyn Kelly. He also faced allegations of sexual misconduct from multiple women, which he vehemently denied. Despite these controversies, Trump was able to secure the Republican nomination for president, defeating a crowded field of candidates. In the general election, he faced off against Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. Although Clinton was widely considered the frontrunner in the race, Trump was able to secure unexpected victories in key swing states such as Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. This gave him a path to victory in the Electoral College, even though he lost the popular vote by nearly 3 million votes. Trump's win in the 2016 election was a stunning upset, and it highlighted the power of his unconventional campaign tactics and his ability to connect with disaffected voters. However, his victory was also met with significant controversy and criticism. particularly given the allegations of Russian interference in the election and concerns about the integrity of the electoral process. Donald Trump's time in office as President of the United States was marked by a number of controversial policies and executive orders. He took a strong stance on issues such as immigration, trade, and national security, often relying on executive power to implement his agenda. One of his most notable policies was the travel ban, which sought to restrict travel from several predominantly Muslim countries. The policy faced significant legal challenges and was eventually upheld by the Supreme Court in a controversial decision. Trump also oversaw a major overhaul of the U.S. tax system, which included significant cuts for corporations and high-income individuals. Throughout his presidency, Trump faced significant criticism for his handling of a number of high-profile issues. For example, his response to the Charlottesville riots in 2017, in which he appeared to equate white supremacists with counter-protesters, drew widespread condemnation. He was also impeached by the House of Representatives in 2019 over allegations that he had abused his power by pressuring Ukraine to investigate political rival Joe Biden. Although he was ultimately acquitted by the Senate, the impeachment was a significant moment in his presidency and highlighted the deep divisions within American politics. Trump's relationship with the media was also a defining feature of his presidency. He frequently criticized the press as fake news and often lashed out at individual journalists on Twitter. His administration was also known for its restrictive approach to press access and its attempts to discredit and undermine critical reporting. Despite these controversies, Trump maintained a dedicated base of supporters throughout his presidency, who praised his strong leadership style and his willingness to take on what they saw as entrenched political interests. However, his tenure in office was also marked by significant protests and opposition, particularly from those who felt that his policies and rhetoric were deeply divisive and harmful to American democracy. Donald Trump's legacy and impact on American politics and society is a topic of ongoing debate and analysis. While he certainly left his mark on the political landscape, his legacy is complex and multifaceted. One of the most significant impacts of Trump's presidency was his ability to galvanize a new wave of populist and nationalist movements around the world. His America First agenda and his willingness to challenge established political norms and institutions inspired similar movements in countries such as Brazil, Hungary, and Italy. Trump's emphasis on nationalism and his criticism of globalism also played a significant role in shaping the broader political discourse around issues such as trade, immigration, and national identity. However, Trump's legacy is also deeply controversial, and his presidency was marked by a number of ongoing legal issues and controversies. He faces ongoing investigations into his business dealings and tax practices, and he has also been accused of sexual misconduct by multiple women. His divisive rhetoric and his willingness to challenge established democratic norms also raised concerns about the health of American democracy and the future of the country's political institutions. Ultimately, the full impact of Trump's presidency on American politics and society remains to be seen. While he certainly left a lasting impression on the political landscape, the long-term implications of his policies and his approach to governance are still unfolding. In conclusion, Donald Trump's life and career have been marked by a number of notable achievements, controversies, and legacies. From his early success as a businessman to his unexpected rise to the presidency, Trump has left a lasting impression on American politics and society. While his approach to governance and his controversial policies have been divisive, his willingness to challenge established political norms and his emphasis on nationalist and populist movements have also inspired a new generation of political actors around the world. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it informative, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future.